Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2015 Kentucky Derby preview. I am Ryan Rapko, aka Chuckles375 on Twitter, and at the time of me taping this, the Kentucky Oaks just ended. I want to congratulate Lovely Maria, number 7, Kerwin Boo Boo Clark, Larry Jones, Burden C. Jones for an outstanding Kentucky Oaks victory, and what a great day of racing. Prices all around. Didn't have the greatest of days. My best bet Carolina came in. If you watch the my Oaks preview, but it was up and down day. I'm looking to have a big day tomorrow with these picks here for the full card for the Kentucky Derby, the 141st edition from Churchill Downs. We have 13 races, and let's get started. So the first race, mile and the 16th, optional claiming $62,500 horses. Looking at the field here, I landed on number 2, Evans Calling, John Court and Brad Cox. Really good speed figures coming into this race. I went up throughout the last start, came on a sloppy track. Coming off the layoff, I think the horse fits here. 4 for 6 at the distance. Likes Churchill, 1 winner, 1/3 in 2 starts. The entry I have second, Indy Cotton Hazards of Love for Tom Amos and Maggie Moss, and I'm not sure if one of them's going to scratch because there's only James Graham associated with both of them, so one might scratch out. If I had a preference of which one, I would prefer the 1A over the 1. I think has a better shot than the straight 1. In third and fourth, I have the 7 and 6, Banner Bill and Tarpey Surprise. Banner Bill had a nice start last time out. Finishing behind Indy Cotton Hazards of Love. I think the horse will appreciate the distance. 4 for 6 in the money at a mile and 16th. And the 6 Tarpey Surprise, Corey Lanery, Dale Romans, 5 for 5 in the money at the distance. So, really think Evans Calling 8-1, good price on him. Really think has a shot to upset this field to start the Derby day. 10:30 a.m. first post, by the way, so it's early start. Race 2, 7 furlongs, optional claiming $75,000 horses. Looking at this field, land on number 7, Islandtown, Julian Leparoux, Ian Wilkes. I want to give this horse another chance. Last time out, really didn't, I really didn't, like it that much, but I think he can bounce back from that effort. Had some real nice starts at the end of last year at Churchill, a second and a first, and then came out of a really tough race with 2 weeks off. He's a really good horse. I'm not sure when he's going to run again, but the 3-horse Yaki's Warrior comes out of that race as well and finished second behind 2 weeks off back in April at Keeneland. Those are the top 2, I think, in this race. Behind them, I have the 5 DeFondo at 9-2 with Mike Smith and Dallas Stewart. Nice, nice switch of rider from Brian Hernandez to Mike Smith. I think will really benefit the horse and hopefully get back from the form from the start before the Louisiana Derby and the starts previous to that as well. Tried the Louisiana Derby, finished 7th, beaten by International Star, Stanford, and all them horses. But before then, horse was looking really good, and sprinting really well. And I think sprinting's what this horse wants to do. So I think 7 furlongs will suit him well. And then fourth, I have the entry of the 1 and the 1A, Roll Tide Roll and Tough Customer. Nice figures. I'm not a big Wayne Catalano guy, but I think he'll have his horses ready, and hopefully they'll fill out the Try-In Super, and we'll have a nice finish to that second race. So 7-3-5-1 in race 2. Race 3, we go to the turf. Maiden $62,000 horses going 1 mile. Looking at this race, I landed on number 12, Sail the High Seas, 15-1 morning line with Jesus Castanon and Brad Cox. Trainer, blinkers off. First time turf, midshipmans, good figures starting out of a Giants Causeway mare, and Giants Causeways love the turf, so I think I'm going to, give this horse a chance here at 15-1 morning line. I'm going to not put any value into that dirt race. I mean, this is a different surface, and horse is bred for the turf, so I'm going to give this horse a chance at 15-1. Second, I have the 9, Reach for a Kitten. Kitten's Joys, they love the grass. You have Javier Castellano, who had a very nice day on Friday, or today, I should say. His last start, really, he was stalking, and he was wide throughout, and he didn't have enough kick coming down the stretch to make an impact on the race. So I think he's going to set a better trip this time, and he has speed to the inside of him. So I think he'll set a good trip, and he'll be right there at the end. Third and fourth, I have the 10 horse Supersonic, another 15-1 shot. First time starter for Eddie Keneally. Good stats too with the first time out for Kitten's Joy, and out of a Silverhawk mare, Prime Silver, who was very good on the grass as well. And number 6, I have fourth, Stormy Deacon for Bill Fires and John Court. They lit up the tote board in the first race day at 26-1. So first time turf here, good figures, good stats again, and they might come in at a price. So I'm not going to discount them, especially with the shot they had coming in today in the first race. So 12-10, 12-9, 10-6 is how I saw the third race on Derby Day. Race 4, go back to the dirt, 1 mile on the main track, optional claiming $100,000 3-year-olds and upward horses. And we see here that I took one of my favorite horses in this race, number 3, Carve. Always been a fan of this horse. Last year at West Virginia Derby Day at Mountaineer, this horse kind of scratched his way into favoritism with Moonshine Mullen, one of the top handicap horses of last year, scratched out of the West Virginia Governor Stakes. And when he scratched out, I really liked Carve in that race, and I've always been a fan of his ever since then. And a mile might be a little short for him. I think he wants to go just a little bit longer. Mile and 16th might be right in his wheelhouse, but he's the class of the field, and I think he might just prove it tomorrow with the horses he's facing. The other really good horse in this race is the 11 Bradester, 5-1 for Jose Lezcano and Eddie Keneally. Really good, classy horse coming out of great stakes competition. Shipping back from Dubai overseas, it's kind of tough, going back and forth from, across the ocean and stuff. So I think the horse might, need a race to get himself back in the groove of things. So, I have him as a tier below here, but he did beat Carve in his last start here at Churchill in Yak back in September. Likes Churchill Downs, great figures. They're the 2 best horses in the race, so it can come either 3-11, 11-3, but I give an edge to Carve just based on the class and having a racer having to ship back over in his first start back in the States. Third and fourth underneath, I have the 4 Rocket Time, 6-1, Calvin Burrell, and lost my spot. Al Stahl. Been testing the first start in Greg Stakes competition. A nice third behind CZ, who's going to run the Ali Sheba later on. I think it's the Ali Sheba. The Churchill Downs Stakes. I'm sorry, Churchill Downs Stakes. Ali Sheba was today. Churchill Downs Stakes, and first in that race was Kobe's Back, a really classy sprinter. I think with the extra distance, I think Rocket Time will be there 2 for 2 at a mile, 3 for 3 in the money at Churchill. I think we're going to have to catch him. He's going to try to go the whole way, and they're going to have to catch him. And then fourth in this race, I like the 6 horse, Cat Burglar. Bob Baffert, Martin Garcia. They'll be teaming up later on in the Derby with Dortmund. Good classy horse again. Always right there in every start except for his first start, which was on the volley track. Really good horse, and I think he'll be there again. So it's a really nice race, this Optional Glamour. Really nice race. A lot of good horses in here. 3-11, 4-6, but I think the 3 just stands out from the rest of them. It's a really good horse. All right, race 5. Start of the greatest stakes for the day. We got the Pathé Mile. Grade 3, 1 mile, 3-year-old colts and geldings. Really classy field. Really good horses in this race. This is kind of like the tier below the Derby horses. These are very good horses. They're on the trail, and this is going to be a really good race. I landed on There was no surprise here. I landed on the 6 competitive edge, 6-5 morning line. Really classy horse for Todd Pletcher. 3 for 3 in his career. He had a blowout win the Tamarack in his first start of the year, going 7 furlongs. He was just pulling away with ease, and I think a mile is going to suit him very well in this field. Behind him, Lord Nelson. Lord Nelson really had a nice work last week at Churchill. He was outworking one of the Oaks horses that Bob Baffert had, and Bob Baffert scratched him out because Lord Nelson outworked him. So Lord Nelson outworking him, and he actually got by her on the inside, and the close on the inside at Churchill, and with the way the track played today, with horses closing on the inside, it kind of wants me to want to take Lord Nelson on top based on that. But it's a real tough spot, and he's faced grade 6 competition before and won. He beat the 2-year-old champion a few starts back in the San Vicente. But Competitive Edge is a real good horse, had a nice blowout victory, and just see them two are the best in the field at this spot. Third and fourth, I have the other Baffert, number 2, Give Me the Loot at 7-2, and fourth, I have the 4, Hillbilly Royalty at 8-1. So really, not many surprises here. 6-5, 2-4 in the fifth. Race 6, the Grade 2 American Turf, mile and the 16th for 3-year-old colts and fillies, I think. No, I lied. 3-year-old colts. Excuse me. I ended up going in this race, a really deep field, 1-7-8-6, Luck of the Kitten on top. Luck of the Kitten hasn't done much wrong. 6 starts, 2 wins in 4 seconds. Hasn't been out of the exacta. The rail is going to be good on the hedge tomorrow. I really think so. And you get Joel Rosario, who's kind of been in the slump this year, but I think tomorrow is going to be a big day for him. I really do. I think he's going to get back in the groove of things, and I really think he's going to propel himself to, not saying he's fallen from being a top tier jockey, but he's been in a little bit of a funk, and I think he can get himself out of it tomorrow. The 7, nonetheless, at 6-1, I have second. Really nice start, first time in his first race of the year at Keeneland last month. Really nice stalking trip. He was second the whole way, and when he turned for home, he pounced, and he got there and hung on by a length and a quarter. So I think this distance is going to suit him well. Second time at the distance, and he's already won once, and I think 6 for 6 in the money as well. So I did another classy horse in this field. The 8, I have third, Conquest Typhoon, was on the Derby Trail for a little while. Turf is what this horse wants. He's not a dirt horse. Turf is his calling, and I think this is a classy horse, and I think this is one you should use in all your exotics as well. Exactus tries, horizontal wagers too, and we'll get into all the horizontals after the card. And fourth, I have the 6, A Lot, John Velasquez, Bill Mott, another classy horse. I think turf is what this horse wants to do. Speed figures have been improving in the last couple starts. I think the horse will be there too. The horse will be there at the end. 1-7-8-6 is how I saw the American Turf. All right, race 7, the Grade 1 Humana Distaff, 7 furlongs for filly and mares, 4-year-olds and upward. I ended up landing on the 8, Judy the Beauty. No surprise again, 6-5 favorite. She's the best horse in this race. I mean, she's a very classy horse. If they beat her, they beat her. But the horse is just at 7 furlongs. She's just good. She's just really good. 2 years ago in the filly mare sprint, second behind Groupie Doll, who was one of the best filly sprinters in the world at that time. And last year she's not there, and Judy Beauty wins by a head. But the horse is really good. Last year in this race, ran to really didn't get the trip that she wanted. Finished fourth behind Midnight Lucky, Street Girl, and Scherzinger. None of these horses are in this race. But looking at this race, Sweet Whiskey's not running. That horse will be scratched tomorrow. Um, the only other horse I could see beating her would be the 3 Dame Dorothy at 9-2 for Todd Fletcher. Um, really had a nice start to her career. Was looking good. Had a little bit of a hiccup in the Cumley at Aqueduct back in November. But since then, be a real nice filly in sheer drama, and then finished second to a really good horse in Warren Sonata. And albeit it was going a mile and an eighth, but I really like Dame Dorothy. It's a really good horse, and you're gonna be hearing a lot from her this summer, especially on the East Coast at Belmont, Saratoga. So watch out for her. But it's Judy the Beauty's world, and we're just living in it right now. So it's 8-3, and then third and fourth I got the 7 Sweet Whiskey Scratch. Excuse me. I have 8-3-5, and my 5th horse was the 2. Thank You, Mary Lou. So 8-3-5-2 is how I saw the Grade 1 Humana Distaff. Race 8, the Grade 2 Churchill Distaff Turf Mile for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward. Looking at this field, this was a really wide open race, I thought. I ended up landing on the favorite, Coffee Clique. Like I said, another classy horse. The class is going to show tomorrow. You get the best horses in the race, and they're just going to show up, I feel. But in this race, there's a little bit of a shot that I'd like that I think could make some noise, and that's the 3 Tepid for Mark Casse and Julien Leparoux. Last time out, really nice victory over Gulfstream Park. Sat about 4th going to the half mile, and then as soon as she hit the half mile, boom, she went. She took the lead, and she just, she never surrendered. She held the lead for a long way, and I think if the horse just sits right off the place with Coffee Clique, and maybe she gets first run on Coffee Clique, she might be able to hold her off. So, I really like the 3 in this race. I end up going 5-3-4-11 is how I saw it. 4 Lady Laura and the 8 Sandiva, very good classy horses. I really like Sandiva. She beaten Rosalind and beaten Party Now, although Party Now has tailed off a little bit since that start back in December. But beating Rosalind was a very, very good classy horse. And her last start in the Honey Fox, finishing second behind Lady Laura and also beating a Coffee Clique. This race is wide open. I mean, the 11 Waterhole, I wouldn't discount either. Gary Stevens, Chad Brown, first time in the States, first time Lasix as well, and those are the 5 that I would consider. I'm probably going to use in the start of the pick 4. The pick 4 starts in race 8 to race 11, ending with the Derby. It's a really nice pick 4 and a lot of money in that pool, so I'm definitely going to tackle it. But 5, 3, 4, 11, 8 is how I would rank them. So really nice race, and I think Coffee Clique gets it done. But don't discount Tepid. Nice price of 15-1 can round some good exotics for you. Race 9, the Churchill Downs, Grade 2, 4-year-olds and upward, going 7 furlongs. A lot of people were California Chrome fans. A lot of people were Shared Belief fans last year. I'm a big Bayern fan. I've always been a fan of Bayern. Really good horse, just when he won the Woody Stevens last year at Belmont at 9-1. I'm at home. My buddy came over, and he loved Bayern that day, and he had a very nice win ticket on him. And ever since I would say his second start, I've always been a fan. I really wish he would have gotten in the Kentucky Derby, because who knows what could have happened. And ever since then, I've been a fan of his. And the Breeders' Cup was awesome to see him win. Albeit he had to, get past a lengthy inquiry and objection. He hung on there, and I know there's a lot of flack for him and a lot of flack of that decision. So I'm not going to get into that. But I'm just saying I'm a fan of the horse, and it's just really cool to see him back. And I think he's going to do it here. I think he's the best horse in the field. 7 furlongs is, he's just going to go to the front and just say, come and catch me. And, the only horse that can do it, I think, is the 4 Private Zone. I mean, that's it in this race. It's 2-4 the whole way. I mean, it's no prizes. It's even money and 2-1. Third, I had the 1 CZ at 15-1. Really good horse on the inside. Love sprinting. And the 5 Pants on Fire, which is another classy horse. He'll be there as well. So 2-4-1-5. It's all about Byron, though. All about Byron. The 10th race, the Woodford Reserve Turf Classic, a mile and an eighth, grade 1 for 4-year-olds and upward. Wise Dan's not in this race. Thank God, because this race is now bettable. There's Wise Dan's show every year in this race, and I really was hoping Seek Again would beat him last year. Couldn't do it. This year he's not here. Seek Again's going to do it. It's kind of like Judy the Beauty in the Breeders' Cup, like I said a couple years ago. Groupie Doll beater. Next year she got the money. So I think it's going to happen here with Seek Again. I think Seek Again, no Wise Dan. I think he's going to do it. Really good, classy horse in the grass. The Breeders' Cup Mile, really couldn't get going. He was far back to begin with. He broke slow and couldn't get his mojo going. And his last actually real good start was back in August at Saratoga when he beat Grand Arch and Jack Melton on the grass up there. And if he can get back to that race, he's going to be really tough in here. 4-1 might be a little too short on him. I think this race has a few more contenders in here to consider. Second, I have the 11 Slumber at 8-1. Irad Ortiz and Chad Brown. Blowout. Big figure at Fairgrounds, going a mile and an eighth in the Mervyn Muniz. Chocolate Ride beat him that day, and I'm going to use Chocolate Ride, but I'm not sold on that horse. I think Slumbers this has a little bit more class to, over Chocolate Ride. Albeit Chocolate Ride is 2 for 2 in grade 6 competition. I'm not going to discount that horse on that, but I think Slumber's the better horse. Third, I have the 1 Optimizer. Always been a fan of Optimizer. I've loved this horse for a long time. The elder statesman of this group, I guess you could say now, since Wise Dan's on this race. Just a very classy horse, and the longer the horse goes, I think the better it suits him. So a mile and an eighth, I think his best distance ultimately would be a mile and a quarter, but a mile and an eighth will be there. And if the weather was a little bit salty, if there was some rain and it was a yielding turf course, Optimizer would be a signal for me because the horse loves the off going, I believe. And it's one of my favorite horses. So I have 9-11-1. Fourth, I have the 8 Stephanie's Kitten. This is not a spot for her. Philly's running against it. I just don't like the horse. Don't like this spot for her. There's a lot of easier spots for her that she could have gone to, whether it be the Distaff Turf Mile, which she won 2 years ago. It would have been an easier spot for her. I think she could have won that race easy. But they're taking a shot here. She may run well, she may not. I just don't see it here. I think it's a man's world in this race. Fourth, I have the 12 Grand Arch. Very good horse from Canada with Brian Lynch. Rafael Hernandez. Not a lot of people know about Rafael Hernandez. Really good up-and-coming jockey. You're going to be hearing a lot of him in the coming years. Just a good horse, good classy horse. And I think they wouldn't send this horse down here. They didn't think he had a shot. So I'm going to use him, and also the 10 Chocolate Red, like I said before. I'll be 6 deep in this leg of the pick 4. It's not an easy race to get out of, and there's a lot of contenders in here. But Seek Again, I think we'll get the money. So we'll see what happens. All right, the Kentucky Derby, race 11, a mile and a quarter. 3-year-old colts and geldings. I went through on Wednesday evening and looking at all these horses and seeing their the running styles, the figures, how the race is going to shape up. You have, I think, 6 solid horses that could win this Derby. Depending on the race shapes out, and we can all say, how we think the race is going to shape out. This horse could go to the lead, this horse could sit off, this horse could, close at the right time. It could be this and this. But until the race is run, we don't know. So, when that gate opens and then it all unfolds out, they'll be like, oh man, I wish I would have seen that. So we can give our opinions all we want, but until the race happens, we really don't know. So, I can give my opinion, and that's the best I can do. So, uh, since November, I've been a fan of Dortmund. I've always been a fan of his. I watched his first start day after the Breeders' Cup, and a really good horse. And then when he went down to Churchill and went on Churchill, I was like, I think this is if he stays healthy and he can get to the Derby, I think this is my Derby horse. So he's here, and I'm not looking back. So Dortmund's going to be my pick. Right now, he's 9-2 in the Derby polls right now, and 9-2, I think it's a steal. I really do. I'm going to be betting him to win. He'll be in my pick 4. I got a bunch of other horses too, but at 9-2, I can't pass him up. And American Pharoah, I have him second. The problem is he's had his way almost every single start. Got to the lead, or in the Arkansas Derby he was off the lead, but he wasn't really tested. Once he got to the lead, there wasn't really anyone testing him. I mean, you could say that the best horse that he beat was, Texas Red. Texas Red's off now, and also Far Right. Far Right has 20, and I don't really consider, Far Right, being a premier Derby contender this year. But I really just don't think he has been tested yet. I really don't. I don't think that this is a spot you want to be tested in. I mean, there's a lot of good horses in this race, and I think Dortmund's more battle tested, and I think Dortmund is just a little bit better than American Pharoah. So 8 and 18, the top two. Third, who I think has a big shot of winning as well, is Frost at the 15. All them changes they made to him had to done something right, because to romp it he did in the I won't say romp, to win as the way he did in the Wood Memorial, and for not doing much, he had a couple seconds, and albeit Gulfstream was a little goofy a few months ago. There's just something about this horse I think he's going to show up on Derby Day. I really do. You get Joel Rosario, and like I said, this might be the day Joel Rosario comes back into people's eyes and say, "Wow, he's back. Joel's back to riding really well." So I'm not going to discount this horse. I really think he's going to show up big, and he has a legitimate shot to win. He really does. The other horses that I think have a shot to maybe pull off an upset, I like the 12 International Star. Horse has done nothing wrong. Horse is a really good horse, and right now I think he was at like 19 to 1 or something like that. The horse is better than 19 to 1. I mean, if you're betting across the board, I would consider putting across the board wager on International Star. That's really juicy price, and the horse, like I said, hasn't done anything wrong. Since just turned 3. 3 nice starts, albeit a lot of people knock the Fairgrounds form. But hey, history's history. We live in the present. Who knows what could happen? People talk about, the last 24 horses coming out of the Wood Memorial didn't finish in the top 3. The trend's going to be broken. A 2-year-old hasn't won the dirt, or a horse that hasn't raced a 2 hasn't won the Derby since 1882. Well, it's going to be broken. You can't keep living in the past. You got to live for now. Albeit I am somewhat of a stats guy, and I, look at trends and look at things like that, but you can't go by the horse. You can't go by the stats. If the horse is good, and you think the horse can do it, then play him. Play him. The other 3 I think that have a shot to, fill in some exotics and really boost some payoffs. The 5, Danzig Moon, he's going to be flying. I really like this bluegrass. He's going to be coming down the stretch, and he's going to be there. I can say the same for number 4, Tencendor. Really grinding type of horse. Kind of reminds me of Oxbow a little bit. Oxbow had a really nice, albeit he had an inside post with Gary Stevens in the Derby that one year. 2 years ago. And I think Tencendor has a kind of similar type of running style. So, I if it shapes out the way, it can, with a lot of speed up front, Tensegor could be picking some pieces up along with Dancing Moon. So I wouldn't discount the 4 at all. 30 to 1 is going to be, you're going to get every bit of that probably. And finally, the 3 Materiality. Here we go with Apollo again. Then race it 2, 12 to 1. You'll probably get that. You'll probably get a little bit more than that probably with all the money coming out of American Pharoah and Dorkman. Really good horse. Hasn't done anything wrong either. 3 for 3. So, that's how I see the Derby. I see it at 8, 18, 15. My top 3 like serious win candidates, and then underneath 3, 4, 5, and 12. So that's how I see it. So we have 2 more races on the card. Derby doesn't end it. There's 2 more races left. Race 12. Optional claim is $75,000 horses, 3-year-olds, going a mile and a 16th. And I'll be quick with these 2 races. I saw it 12, 10, 4, 8. That's how I saw it. Comfort 4 to 1 for Javier Castellano and Todd Pletcher. Coming out of Lexington. The class of the field. I really think get back to good form, showing the best figures. Jack Tripp can't be ignored though. Really nice figure at this distance as well. And there's really not much else in this race, I thought. So pretty straightforward there. And finally, the 13th race, 6, 11, 9, 7. It's for 7 furlong maidens. Been on Bourbon, the 5 to 2 favorite. And really should have won its last start. Really big figure at Keeneland, and it's just, I think the horse is just going to run away from them. Just going to, maybe sit second for a little bit, and then as soon as he hit the quarter pole, boom, and he's gone. So 6, 11, 9, 7 is how I saw the finale on Derby Day. Now, I have some exotic plays for Saturday. Let me pull them up here real quick. I have my phone. All right. So for the Derby itself, well, I have an early pick 4 play starting in race. That's actually a middle pick 4 play in race 4. Maybe the early pick 4. I'm not sure. 3, 4, 6, 11 with 5, 6 in race 5. Race 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and race 7, 3, 8. So we're 4 by 2 by 5 by 2, which would be a $40 ticket for that pick 4. The pick 5 starting in race 7, 3, 8 with 3, 4, 5, 8, 11 with 2, sparing my single, with 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with 8, 5, and 18. So that's 10, 70, 2 times $105 pick 5 ticket. The Derby pick 4, this is how I have it shaped up right now. This is due to change, but it's this is my budget. I mean, I'll give you an economy play as well. This ticket is $245. It's 3, 4, 5, 8, 11 with 2, 4 with 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with 3, 4, 5, 8, 12, 15, and 18. Now, smaller budgets, if you want to play this pick 4, I would recommend this ticket. Let me pull up my writing here. Bear with me for 1 second. Beauty of live video, huh? This is how I would play it. I would play 3, 4, 5 with 2 with go with 9, 11, 1, 12 with 8, 12, 15, and 18. So that's 3 by 1 by 4 by 4, and that's $24 for 50 cents. So I think that's a good shot to hit. And then finally, one wager that gets discounted a lot is the pick 4. It starts the race before the Derby. Really nice pool in that rate and for that sequence, and really nice payoffs. Because a lot of people don't play the last 2 races, so it's pretty much Derby and everyone goes home. So, and how I saw that on an economy-based ticket, I had 1, 9, 11, 12 with 8, 12, 15, 18 with 4, 10, 12 with 6, 11. So that ticket is $48 for 50 cents. And then if you want the expanded ticket, what I'm going to play, 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with 3, 4, 5, 8, 12, 15, 18 with 4, 10, 12 with 6, 11. So that's 49 times 3, which is $147. $147. That's what it costs. So that's how I see Derby Day. In terms of exactas and tries in the Derby, it's really what I'm going to attack in the Derby itself. I'm going to have 8 and 15 on top. I don't see American Pharoah doing it. And if you want to make some money, I mean, you can put the 18 on top and put a bunch of horses behind, and you'll get some money. But I'm looking for a big score. So 8 and 15 on top with 3, 4, 5, 12, 15, and 18. 8, 18 with 3, 4, 5, 8, 12, 15, and 18. Exacta play. And then the try play, same thing. 8, 15 with 3, 4, 5, 8, 12, 15, 18, and the same horses at third. You could play 50-cent tries, so it's not a large wager. You could probably play that. I'm not sure how much that would cost. I would say it'd be about between $15 and $24. I would say. But hey, we all have opinions, and yours is the only one that matters. All I can do is give you my thoughts and give you my tips. But in the end, it's what you feel. It's your money you're betting, and all I can hope for is we all cash on Saturday on Derby Day. So until next time, thank you again for watching both the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby preview. And on Saturday, let's be cashing and not trashing. Take care, and we'll see you.